as Jonathan Hernandez comes out and takes the lead. Oh, we got lots of stuff going on here. Oh my god, there is death everywhere. Everyone got tight and have just gone up and slammed the wall. Boomerang shoes in that one, Jordan Lee. A lot of people just getting very tight there on the corner exit. It'd be almost easier to tell you who was not involved. I can see Jonathan Hernandez still on track, Clayton Ward, Ryan Pizzakemi, and Cosman. I'm going to have to talk to Cosman about how to pronounce his last name there. Because I have no idea how to pronounce that. That's the driver of the 48 car, who I believe is just coming to... Oh! He's just punched himself into the end of... These guys are fighting pretty close right now. 17 of Christian Budd managing to hold on. And now they're going to have to deal with the 38 of Thomas Harmon, who's going to make it 3 wide on the inside. They've gotten the 17 of Christian Budd clear. And now Thomas fighting for the lead, giving a little bit of a bump there to Gerald West. Gerald rolling with the punches. They're going 3 wide again, coming off of turn 4. This can be a little bit of a sticky situation, especially if you're the car in the middle. Gotta make sure you give enough space to... Hello everyone and welcome to Texas Motor Speedway, and welcome to the Autism Awareness 100 right here on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel. I am the commentator, the Aussie Sim Commentator, and I'm really happy to be bringing you what is sure to be a fairly exciting race here from the Texas Motor Speedway. You can see there is cars on track already as practices well and truly underway. Currently looking at the group of Corey Cook, Robert DeVore, and Corey Williamson. Corey Cook is a new driver in the league and is already impressing, as he has the second fastest time at the moment in practice. Robert DeVore has found some pace here as well, as he's gone to the top of the timetables, as that little group just imploded. And here is John Zell, Kyle Kraus, and Travis Massia, our regulars. There's three surprises at the top there with Robert DeVore, Corey Cook, as I said, league rookie for tonight, and Corey Steinhauser up there with the third fastest time at the moment. I've got Brian Pizzicami 4th, Travis Massia 5th, Corey Williamson P6, Jonathan Hernandez 7th, Jaron Sanchez in 8th, Thomas Harmon all the way down in 9th, and Matt Burgess in 10th at the moment. As we just saw Brian Pizzicami turn dead right in the middle of turns 1 and 2, which means they must be about to get ready for a pit party, because that's normally what he does. And suddenly, chaos. Corey Williamson and Frank Isaacson having a little smash on the pit road. Jonathan Hernandez. Alright, here we go. Everyone's starting to roll off the pit road. Kyle Kraus immediately puts it into defense. There's Matt Burgess in the 12. And James Wilson in the 39. Where everyone's going to get lined up. It's going to be Burgess, DeVore, Harmon, Isaacson, Lazelle, and Williamson as your top 6 here for the pit party. 61 there is Corey Cook. As we are off and racing. Calm. Which is surprising, because you'd expect abrupt chaos when it comes to the pit parties. Travis Massia squeezing underneath of James Watson to improve his position here, just for the pit party at least. People signed up for the race. 25-21 strength of field. Oh, there's a little bit of a touch there. Corey Wilson and Travis Massia. James Watson with Paul Cox right on his hammer. Just behind him, Steinhauser has made it 3 wide to get a spot. Oh, and very loose is Brian Harris. Now he's stuck 3 wide in the back, and he's in the fence. Yeah, Steinhauser is one person showing a lot of pace here this evening. Normally he's somewhere around 10th to 15th, but right up there 4th for the practice at the moment, as he is behind his Speedway Means teammate Paul Cox. There's Jonathan Hernandez. He's right behind the league rookie Corey Cook. That's right, we have 3 Corys in the league now, and all of them are spelt differently. It's like the 2 Bryans with a Y and a Brian with an I. Oh, Frank got loose coming out of turn 4. And suddenly chaos. The Steinhauser and Cox have had a bit of an issue here. But also, for the most part, everyone survived. Hernandez looking to move up the field here a little bit, if he can. Currently behind Robert DeVore, who is the top time Charlie here in practice. I can hear someone getting loose. Paul Cox in front of the field. They spun down to safety on the grass, and everyone got around it. Jonathan Hernandez now trying to chase down Corey Cook once more. And Corey Cook's going to go for a pit entry. It's always important to practice pit entry, even if you're not sure whether you are actually going to have to pit on the green. As we have just over 16 minutes left in practice. I got the standings for everyone to have a look at. You see DeVore, Cook, Lizelle, Steinhauser, Pizzacami, Masia, Hernandez, Harmon, Burgess, Williamson. That's your top 10. Like we don't yet have a time for Brian Chambliss. We've got Sanchez in 11th, Isaacson, Ray Zercut, Adam Bowden, Mark Pentecoff, Kyle Kraus, Sam Niederhelm, James Watson, Paul Cox, and Brian Harris as the 11 to 20. And no Brian Chambliss just yet. It's actually not usual to see him this late for a race. Been a nice battle going on just ahead. Jonathan Hernandez here. Between John Lozelle and Thomas Harmon. Sounds like a few people pushing a little bit hard through 3 and 4, just catching the fence there on the exit. Jonathan Hernandez is coming in for a pit entry. Someone was screen on the front. Not sure who it was. As now John Lozelle and Thomas Harmon have caught up to Matt Burgess. They got him to join in on this battle. Oh, there's contact. Matt Burgess was trying to squeeze Thomas down as far as he could. Thomas wasn't having any of it. I heard what sounded like someone spinning, but I don't see who was around. Several people hitting the fence there coming out of turn 4. They're really testing out that progressive damage system that iRacing recently introduced. This entire group now comes into the pits. Thomas is trying to give Lozelle a speeding penalty. Brian Chandler is now put in the lap and it's only good enough for 19th. I'll put him on the back foot here a little bit if he's not going to show much pace here in practice. All the way up the track went Sam Niederhelm that time as he let Robert the ball by. As far as practice sessions go, this one's been pretty calm. I mean, yeah, we've had a couple of crashes here or there, but nothing that's really the normal. For how that's going to bode for the actual race itself. Looking at Kyle Kraus and Corey Williamson. Just behind these guys is the 65 of Corey Steinhauser. Yeah, it looks like this race is definitely going to throw a few curveballs. Robert DeVore's up there leading the way. Steinhauser up in fourth. And some of you may remember Corey Cookie from back in the days where we used to broadcast the USA and Z League. But he's not new to the channel, but he's definitely new to Output Racing League. Oh, and around goes Steinhauser. Nicely saved, honestly. Kyle Kraus right on Thomas Harmon's ass. Almost pushing him along on the front straight. They have about 6 minutes left in practice here. About 9 or 10 laps, depending on how fast they go. Robert DeVore currently the only man in the 29 second bracket. Corey Cook 0.006 above 29 seconds. He's got a 30.006. Robert DeVore's 29.985. Corey Williamson has a solid top 10 going. Thomas Harmon in 9th. Ryan Chambliss in 18th. Can you believe that one? Oh, it looks like Brian Harris and Bruce Steinhauser have had it coming together. Brian Harris just sitting out there on the track. I'm guessing that car is unmanned at the moment. First left to be Corey's plaything. Oh, right in the middle of the racing line he goes. Now the question is, who's going to hit him? Oh, John Lozelle. That was a massive hit. As soon as he hit, he was launched into a barrel roll. That was intense. Oh, into the fence goes Steinhauser. And that right front is junk. Now have just over 2.5 minutes left. As two of the Corys come out on track at the same time, Steinhauser and Williamson. I just had a look through the top 10. They're all separated by less than 1/10 of a second. Corey Williamson NP10 .091 off of the leading time set by Robert DeVore. That is crazy. Brian Chambers has moved his way up into 14th in practice. It's not ideal for him. He'll want to show a little bit more pace than that when it comes to qualifying. Now Niederhelm got the fence a little bit there coming out of turn 4. But with less than a minute left in practice here, we are going to go for a commercial break, and when we come back we'll have the starting grid here for the Autism Awareness 100 live exclusive from the Texas Motor Speedway, so make sure you guys stay tuned. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Autism Awareness 100 right here from the Texas Motor Speedway. Qualifying is complete. It's time for us to go through our order, starting from first. Going to be the 23 of John Lazelle. Out of P2 will be the 38 of Thomas Harmon. P3, the 12 of Matt Burgess. P4 will be the 24 Frank Isaacson with P5. The 60 of Carl Kraus, and P6, 21 of Brian Chambliss. P7 will be the 13 of Travis Massier, with P8, the 61 of Corey Cookie. P9, the 39 of James Watson. P10, the 88 of Jonathan Hernandez. P11 is scheduled to be Ray Zerkut, but I don't see him out on the track. P12 is the 83 of Adam Bowden. We got Mark Pentacuff, Sam Niederholm, Brian Harris, Jaron Sanchez, got Corey Steinhauser, Brian Pizzicami, Robert DeVore. Wrong one, that's the one. Robert DeVore, Paul Cox, and Corey Williamson wrapping up your 21 car field. Go back over here. Like we're just patiently waiting for the cars to roll off the pit road here. And there we go. So I've got 100 laps here tonight. It's going to be 150 miles of racing. See what our combatants can do. And it looks like Ray Zerkut did not make the call. So everyone on the inside from 13th on back will gain a row. Pace cars makes his way turns 3 and 4. Great to see Frank right up there in 4th. Maybe we'll see him bump draft Thomas Harmon just in front of John Lazelle here for the start to get him a penalty. That would be amazing. But Frank's not like that. The pace car pulls to the infield. And we're off and racing. Frank did not get a good start there, but John Lazelle did. And it looks like going into turns 1 and 2, he is going to hold off Thomas Harmon. Battle right now is between Harmon and Matt Burgess for second. At the moment, Burgess holds on to the advantage and he takes that position. Ooh, Travis Massier got a little bit loose there, just touching the apron. And that's provided a little bit of stack up here. As we almost had 3 wide there in the back. Most of the front of the pack here is all single filed out. Look at Jonathan Hernandez, he's trying to get underneath James Watson. Corey Steinhauser right up here in this mix as well. Let's have a look at the action ahead from the nose of Adam Bowden. Once I find the right button, there it is. Bowden going extremely wide. Look at this wall of cars ahead of him. Jonathan Hernandez here on the immediate left. You got Brian Chambliss in that black car up ahead. Corey Cook is also up there, P7. I see the Autism Awareness Plan as well. Of course, Frank Isaacson. Bowden ran a really, really wide line there in 1 and 2. That's working for him. Look at that momentum gain he got. The 8 of Brian Harris. Oh, he just got loose right in front of James Watson. I'm sure for James Watson, a little bit of poo just shot out. Let's get back up there with Adam Bowden, as he is now enthralled in a battle with Frank Isaacson and Jonathan Hernandez. Frank started in 4th, he's already down to 9th, which is no good. See James Watson trying to buy into this battle. So too Corey Steinhauser, looking very aggressive, going underneath of the 39 car. Up ahead, the battling continues between the 88 Jonathan Hernandez and the 13 and Travis Macia. Adam Bowden still running a very wide line there in 1 and 2, but he's making it work. As side by side he goes with Frank. Oh, he's in the fence. Oh, he's into Frank. Around they go. Oh, Brian Pizzicami caught a little piece of that as well. And that is going to be our first caution of the day. Go back and have another look at this. We're looking at the 83 car here, Adam Bowden. Top of the screen. Oh, Kyle Kraus hit the fence as well. Adam Bowden did as well. And straight down into Frankie goes. Oh, Corey might have given a little bit of a tap to Adam there as well. Oh, Frank got absolutely finished off there in the fence. And the 78 Brian Pizzicami, nowhere to go into the back of Adam Bowden. Bowden has no steering there. Let's go back and have another look at it. This time we'll go off the nose cam of Steinhauser, who was right behind them. See if there was any touch from Bowden, from Steinhauser to Bowden. The defense goes Bowden. And he starts coming down. I think he might have broken his right front there to explain the lack of steering. And yep, there was definitely a touch. And through they go. So with that, we're going to go to a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to see how that affects the field here with such an early caution. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Welcome back to the Texas Motor Speedway. Welcome back to the Autism Awareness 100. As you saw there, a whole bunch of cars were in the pits. Some getting tires, some getting fuel. But we do have a number of cars that stayed out. There's been a 23 of John Lozelle, 12 of Matt Burgess, Corey Cook. We've got Jonathan Hernandez, Thomas Harmon, Robert DeVore, who all did not pit. Ryan Chambliss, he's coming out the first car off pit road in 7th. 8th is Travis Masia, 9th James Watson, and 10th Jaron Sanchez. Oh, we're just waiting for the wonder green signal here. And looks like we just got it. Everyone's going to start getting lined up. So your full order is Lozelle, Burgess, Cook, Hernandez, DeVore, Harmon, Chambliss, Maciel, Watson, Sanchez, Niederhelm, Williamson, Harris, Kraus, Pentacuff, Cox, Steinhauser, and Pisakami, Isaacson, Bowden, all in the pits getting fixed. And Ray Zercut is OUT out. He did not start, which is a shame because Ray Zercut is a great driver. So here we go now, coming up of turn 4, get the green flag this time, and we're gonna do it in style with a crank it up. Alrighty. John Lascelles still leading the way right now from Robert DeVore, Brian Chambliss, Matt Burgess, and Jonathan Hernandez. So some of these no tire stoppers definitely taking the advantage. Just before we were looking back at Steinhauser and James Watson. Watson enthralled in a battle side by side with Thomas Harmon. Also got the 13 and the 65 side by side, Massier and Steinhauser. Darren Sanchez back there as well. Oh, it looks like Thomas didn't get a great run through 1 and 2 this time. 3 wide. Off of turn 2 they go. And there's contact between Harmon and Massier. I lost train of thought there for a second. Now they're 3 wide with Sanchez on the outside. Sanchez trying to follow Steinhauser through. Doesn't look like it's quite going to work out for him. It looks like at the very least Sanchez will pick up 1 spot on Harmon. As we have also had a change for the lead. 21 of Brian Chambliss has just overtaken John Lascelles. Robert DeVore right up there at 3rd as well. So the racing action definitely heating up right now. Brian Chambliss now has just about a half-second lead over John Lascelles. We're going to go back to looking at this pack again. Steinhauser's just been swallowed up by just about everyone here as he's fallen behind Kyle Kraus. Looks like Corey Williamson's going to get a move on him as well. Pretty sure Steinhauser was one of those who got fuel only. Didn't get fresh tires. A lot of these guys back here are on fresh tires. There's only the difference in 10 laps in tires, but performance really speaks volumes. There's Travis Massier. He's going for a move on Jonathan Hernandez. He makes that stick going into turn 3. That's now Massier up into P6 and Hernandez down to 7th. Steinhauser back in 12th now. We'll be looking at settling in and just trying to improve a little bit. Let's just go back up ahead here to John Lascelles. He's now got James Watson on his tail as Watson's just gotten around the ball. Watson is one of those who took tyres under that caution period. Second car on fresh tyres, Brian Chambliss was the first. Chambliss with a commanding lead now as Watson takes over second from Lascelles. The gap is to the tune of 2 seconds between Chambliss and Watson. 13 of Travis Massia also starting to make moves here in towards the top 3. Looks like Sanchez trying to make moves as well. He makes his way up underneath of Robert DeVore. And he makes that move stick. That's Sanchez now into the top 5. See maybe a move going on behind as well. Matt Burgess is looking to improve position as well. Burgess not one of those who pitted. He's one of the ones that stayed out. So him and DeVore on even tires. To the inside he goes. And he makes that move stick quite nicely. Looks like Steinhauser has super dropped off the pace. He's all the way back in 16th now. As one of the cars from that first lap wreck has come back out on track. There's a 78 of Brian Pizzicami. He's 14 laps down in 18th. As we're nearly 1/3 of the way through this race. As Brian Chambliss, he has a 2.3 second lead over the rest of the field right now. Have a look from out the back of his car. That's what in fact, it's 2.5 seconds now. What 2.5 seconds looks like. There's definitely nothing to sneeze at. We go to focus on James Watson, who is being hounded by Travis Massia right now. And John Lozelle looking pretty good back there as well. He's on older tires, but it doesn't show. But now the question is going to start being raised. When does everyone pit? Of course, the guys who did just come into the pits on that caution, they're going to have the advantage. They can go a little bit longer, especially on their fresher tires. So it's going to be one of those wait and see kind of things. Should be about 15 laps away from green flag stops. That'll be for all the cars who got just fuel only or doesn't pit at all. As now the gap Chambliss back to Massia 3 seconds. As James Watson's getting hounded. And John Lozelle He must be looking after those tires really well. He's just moved himself back into third. Jaron Sanchez in fifth. Jaron Sanchez right up there in fifth too. Thomas Harmon's down in seventh. Jonathan Hernandez down in 10th. Back where he started. And let's see who else was on the pace early. Now Steinhauser's down in 17th. Robert DeVore's in 8th. So yeah, the field right now is just a little bit all over the place with the different strategies going on. Though I think Steinhauser might have a bit of damage with how far off he is. I'm just hearing reports now that Steinhauser has indeed come a cropper with the fence. He got it in the tri-oval. Coming across the start-finish line. And his wheel is 45 degrees to the left. So there you go. But this is a nice little battle going on here. It's a little bit of a chess match for these drivers. Because it's all a big game of push the tires and burn them up, or conserve and hope you've got enough speed to overtake. Of which this is a difficult track to overtake, because you've really got to send it to try and make a move stick. You've got to try and cool the tires off, pull off your right front, and go for a big send in turn one to really make it work. Now, it's hard to keep your tires cool when you're in someone's draft, like what James Watson is experiencing right now. We're 41 laps into this race. Brian Chambliss, definitely the class of the field right now. Opened up a huge lead. Looks like Adam Bowden also back on track now. He's going to be in 19th, 32 laps down. Let's see what's going on through the field. So this is the battle for 2nd through 5th. Just behind them is 6th and 7th. We've got Paul Cox in 8th right now, just ahead of Corey Williamson, Jonathan Hernandez. Got Corey Cook there as well, with Robert DeVore. They're battling it out for 11th and 12th. Kyle Kraus is next. He's 13th. He's in space all on his own. Got Brian Harris in the 8th. He is in 14th, right behind him. Mark Pensicup in 15th. I've got the 66 of Sam Niederhelm. He is currently P16. Corey Steinhauser. And yeah, that's definitely a little bit of a battered looking car, especially on the right side. as he just taps the fence a little bit there, coming out of turn 4. And after him is the 78 of Brian Pizzakemi, who is 14 laps down, as he's about to effect an overtake on Mark Pentacuff. And Adam Bowden, who's currently 32 laps down in 19th. And Frank Isaacson, who's obviously still in the pits getting repairs. Looks like cars from 2nd through 7th have now formed 2 different packs of 3. That'll be as Jaron Sanchez has dropped off this front pack and moved back to the 2nd pack there. John Lozelle trying to look for a way around Travis Massia, just trying to get a different line to get a little bit of an advantage. Can't quite get there just yet. Oh, that was a sickening thud that I just heard. Steinhauser has binned it. And that is going to be a caution. Let's see what happened to Steinhauser here. Going through turn 4. What happened to the driver of the Speedway Memes Media 65 car? Just up the track. Catches the fence. Oh. His right front collapsed and caught the fence. And that's what sounded like the sickening thud. Oh, and that's big damage. That is huge damage on that 65 car. Let's go back and have a look at that again from a different angle. There we go, there's a nice angle. Bit zoomed out, but we'll definitely get a good picture of what happened here. Straight up track. And into the fence. Yeah, definitely caught that right front and just took him for a spin cycle. Now let's see it from on board. Oh, I hit the slow-mo too early. Here we go. See, he is actually off the gas there. Oh, yeah, he's off the gas. He's trying to save it, trying to keep it off the fence. No. Around he goes. That's going to be his day just about done. Let's see it again at full speed. Damn, that was definitely an impact. All right, with that, we're going to go to a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to see how the pit stop cycle cycles through. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Welcome back to the Autism Awareness 100 here on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel. And pit stop cycles have been complete. Brian Chambliss, the first car who's come out from pit road, so he will maintain his lead over Travis Massier, John Lozelle, James Watson, Jones Sanchez, Matt Burgess, Thomas Harmon, Corey Cook, Jonathan Hernandez, and Corey Williamson as your top 10. That's Kraus, Cox, Pentacuff, Harris, Niederhelm, DeVore. That's down to 16th. Bruce Steinhauser in the pits getting repairs. He's currently 3 laps down. Pizzakemi 13 laps down in 18th. I've got Bowden 32 laps down in 19th, and Frank Isaacson 41 laps down, still in the pits getting repairs from that first crash. The lights are out on the pace car. We're going to get the green flag here with 49 laps left to go. We've just reached the halfway point right now. And this is just going to be a great excuse for us to once more do a crank it up on the restart. So make sure you got the volume turned up in whatever you're listening to this broadcast on, because we're about to crank it up. Alrighty, we are back. And as you can see, the front of the field is just all single filed out here. No one really attempting any kind of an overtake. There's Thomas Harmon. He's currently down in P6. He's outside the top 3. The 88 Jonathan Hernandez is up there in 8th. That's John Lozelle and Brian Chambliss leading the way though. Brian Chambliss maintaining his lead from earlier. And he'll be hoping that he can pull away from the field again once more. Jonas Sanchez looking pretty good up there in 4th in the 4 car. James Watson, who struggled a little bit earlier, in 5th, but he is about to make an overtake for 4th on Sanchez. Side by side they go. And also Sanchez hit the fence a little bit there coming out of turn 4. He's going to lose every single spot here as he falls down to the back of this pack. Let's get back up to the front of this pack. The 21 Brian Chambliss. Got Lozelle and Masia on his tail. Look at them go. There's almost nothing between Chambliss and Lozelle right now. Just hard, fast, front nose to tail racing. I was about to say side to side racing, but they're not side to side because I'm an idiot. There is 2 wide at the back of this pack though. I think one of those is Jaron Sanchez. No, I was wrong. The 8 of Brian Harris and the 81 of Corey Williamson that was side by side. Corey Williamson starting to fall off the back of this pack ever so slightly. And it looks like the 38 Thomas Harmon trying to make a move there. That's on the 39 of James Watson. Can't quite get there. It's so hard to make a move stick when you're not fully up beside someone coming out of turn 2. Because once you dive up the inside of someone, they'll just take the draft of that outside lane along the back straight here and run with it. That's not going to stop Thomas Harmon from trying. As the over-under worked for him, he had more momentum coming out of turn 2. That's what helped him effect that overtake. Now Thomas Harmon trying to work over Travis Masia, who's looking really strong right now. Just behind these guys, Matt Burgess looking to try and make a move on James Watson as well. Watson is a little bit vulnerable, having run the outside earlier. It burnt up his tyres a little bit more than everyone around him. Jonathan Hernandez takes advantage as well. Side by side back there, Corey Cook and Kyle Kraus. Cook takes that position away. He's now in 9th. Oh, Brian Harris slammed the fence coming out of turn 2. As it looks like 38, Thomas Harmon making a move on Travis Masia now. 12 of Matt Burgess right in behind him. This is for a podium right now. Oh, Matt Burgess. He got tight mid-corner, almost slid right up into the 13 of Masia. But Thomas Harmon, after not such a fast start to the race, definitely been making dividends here in the second half. He's moved himself up into third. With that move, I think we're going to go to a quick commercial break here. When we come back, more racing action from the Autism Awareness 100 right here on the Autism Commentator channel. Make sure you guys stay tuned. We're back with racing action here from the Autism Awareness 100, live and exclusive on the Autism Commentator channel from the Texas Motor Speedway. Brian Chambliss now has a half-second lead over John Lizelle. The last time this happened, he just pulled away from the rest of the pack and had a 3-second gap. We'll see if he can do the same here again tonight. It looks like we might have a few battles going on through the field. But the 12 of Matt Burgess right up on the tail of Thomas Harmon. Jonathan Hernandez up there as well in 5th. He's definitely in this battle. Corey Cookie is currently surrounded by Travis Macia and Jaron Sanchez. And they're going to be battling in that hip position shortly. In fact, they're battling for position right now. As Corey goes to the inside of Travis. Can he effect this overtake, and can Jaron Sanchez take advantage as well? Corey definitely makes that move stick. Sanchez unable to take advantage as well, just stays back there in 9th. Brian Pizzacchemi has made one position. He is currently in 17th by virtue of Steinhauser being in the pits getting repairs. Adam Bowden not far away from gaining some extra positionage as well. As now Sanchez goes to make the move on Macia. Macia might have burnt his tyres up here a little bit. He's unable to maintain a decent pace. And that's going to be Sanchez now up into P8. Go find Danny A. Brian Pizzacchemi. There he is, 13 laps down. There's a lucky dog wave around from that last caution. And he's actually going pretty quickly right now, maintaining pace with the rest of the field. And that car definitely does not look like it was involved in a serious accident right back in the early stages of this race. Back up with our leaders now. Considered on Thomas Harmon in 3rd. He's got about a second between himself and Lizelle. So he's just about in space all of his own here, because he's starting to drop Matt Burgess as well. It's almost 0.5 of a second. This looks like everyone's starting to string out here in the top half dozen or so. But Jaron Sanchez is the closest to anyone in this pack. Although same could be said there for the 13 of Travis Masia. Travis Masia definitely closer to Sanchez than anyone else is to anyone in this top pack. With Kyle Kraus back there in 10th. He's just maintaining a great position there. Corey Williamson has been dropped off the back of this pack. I'm surprised to see Robert DeVore down in 13th after putting in an amazing practice time in the sub 30-second bracket. The only car to get sub 30 seconds in practice. Now Travis Masia goes for the move on Jaron Sanchez. And underneath he goes. That is for the 8th position. Sanchez using that momentum in the high line to maintain for the moment. And he will hold off Travis Masia this time. This has allowed Kyle Kraus to close in on both of them. It looks like Sanchez has actually been closing in on Corey here a little bit as well. That's crazy because we got 3 Corys with 3 different spellings from 3 different locations. So I've got the, I think it's the Carolina Corey. It's Corey Cook. We've got Canadian Corey is Corey Williamson with a K. And Corey Steinhauser, obviously the Aussie. There's Corey with an I, Corey with a K, and Corey with a Y. Oh, the 60. Oh, Kraus just tapping the fence coming out of turn 4 that time. Oh, he's got a little bit of right side damage too. That's going to hamper him. That's going to make that thing really tight. As it looks like the 83 Adam Bowden's just come in for a pit stop. He's 33 laps down, 34 laps down now. And he's just taken over 18th position from Steinhauser. But the top 10 is definitely all kinds of spread out now. There's Adam Bowden. Just staying out of the way while he picks up speed. Everyone's just kind of strung out here a little bit. Let's go focus on crashes, see where we end up. James Watson under a little bit of pressure from Corey in the 61. We've got Robert DeVore pressuring Brian Harris. Paul Cox in this as well. This could end up being an exciting little battle. Cox is actually trying to go around the outside of Robert DeVore now. Couldn't quite get there. Adam Bowden on his Thresher tyres, trying to play antagonist in this little battle. As Corey Steinhauser back on track. There are 19 cars running. Got one in the pits and one DNS. Let's see, Steinhauser 36 laps down. And Frank Isaacson back on track as well. 77 laps down is Isaacson. Brian Harris not having a good time right now. Robert DeVore is all over him. I think we're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, the final 10 laps here from the Autism Awareness 100 coming up shortly. Make sure you guys stay tuned. And welcome back to the Autism Awareness 100 here from the Texas Motor Speedway. Ryan Chambliss still leading the way with just 11 laps left to run in this race. And don't forget, everyone did pit on that final caution, so everyone's got the same tyres. But Chambliss only has half a second over John Lozelle. You got Thomas Harmon back there as well. He's 0.6 of a second off of Thomas Harmon. So the gaps are vast, but pretty close. As now we get the 10 to go signal. These guys are getting ready to finish off this race here. I don't think anyone's going to have anything for Chambliss. Lozelle is close, but he just doesn't quite have enough. And two for Thomas Harmon on Lozelle. Matt Burgess is out in space all on his own here in fourth. Got 2.2 ahead to Thomas Harmon and 1.2 back to Jonathan Hernandez. And earlier we were looking at the battle between the 8, the 3 and the 6. And they're still battling. In fact, Kyle Kraus is back in this battle as well. Kyle Kraus falling from grace a little bit down in 11th. Corey Williamson got back around him. Now Robert DeVore trying to take over 11th. And he's going to get there on the inside of Kyle Kraus. The 3, Paul Cox, trying to make anything work as well. Zone 2 for the 8, Brian Harris. Harris just about gets to the inside of Kraus, doesn't quite get there though. See the 3, Cox, he's got a good run here down the back straight. He's going to dive it to the inside, not going to quite get there. Harris went super deep into that corner to defend. Oh, and Kraus big time into the fence. That's got to be damage on that 60 car. Kraus now falls down to 14th. Not going to be good for his championship charge. It's all valuable points slipping away. Fastest lap of the race, a 30.207 done by Travis Massia. Not sure what lap he did that on, but that's a pretty damn good lap for race pace. Fastest time at the last lap was by John Lozelle, a 32.009. Frank Isaacson just behind these guys. Got a fully fixed car and he's got fresh tyres, but it's only 5 laps to go, so Frank's definitely not gaining any positions here. Even if we did use up all of our overtimes. There is the 21 of Brian Chandler. So Adam Bowden on his fresh tyres has stormed his way through the top drivers. It was Bowden's last lap time of 31.572. So yeah, he's flying right now compared to the rest of the field. But when we come to the start-finish line this time, it's only going to be 3 laps left to run for Brian Chambliss. Having a quick little squeeze back. Thomas Harmon has closed the gap to John Lozelle. Lozelle's only got 0.4 of a second to Chambliss, but he's only got 1/10 back to Harmon. Harmon experimenting with the alternate lane choice. Going a little bit wider into turn 1. Had it a little bit closer on the exit of 2. He's got his nose up there. Will he make the move stick? Side by side they go. We're going to get 2 to go this time by. Lozelle defending furiously as we get 2 to go. Lozelle maintains second place. Again, Harmon takes the wider line going into the corner. Lozelle doing everything he needs to do to hold on. But as we come out of turn 4 for the penultimate time, it's going to be white flag last lap. Last chance to win it or wear it for Brian Chambliss. Chambliss, you could say, is a veteran of the league. He only has a few wins because he's mostly the bridesmaid, but he's going to get rid of that bridesmaid dress for tonight, as he is going to come through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Your winner here for the Autism Awareness 100 from the Texas Motor Speedway is going to be the 21 of Brian Chambliss. John Lozelle will finish second with Thomas Harmon in P3. Looks like Matt Burgess was able to hold on to 4th with Jonathan Hernandez in 5th. Great finish for Sanchez. Finishes P6. Corey Cook on debut, P9. Corey Williamson come home with a top 10. We had 15 cars finish on the lead lap. All 20 cars that took the green flag have taken the checkered flag as well. Albeit with 5 cars a lap down. 4 cars a lap down. But here we go. It's victory burnout time for Brian Chambliss. He's definitely happy to be winning here at Texas. So with that, we're going to go to a commercial break. When we come back, we'll have driver interviews, to make sure you guys stay tuned. Alrighty, it's now time for our driver interviews, and we're kicking things off with our Autism Awareness Hard Charger Award winner, and today's hard charger in the 88. After starting from 10th, it is Mr. Jonathan Hernandez. Jonathan, hard charger award today on what is a track that no one really likes too much.
Yeah, well, first off, congratulations to Brian Chambliss on his win. Yeah, it was, as you'll see, it's or as you saw, it's single file pretty much. The only passing is just if anybody slips up, which people have, and that's how we got to where we are at the finish. But yeah, overall, I mean, it was a good race. Qualifying, we messed up. My second lap was gonna be the pole lap until I smacked the wall out of four, so that put us where we were at the start. And beginning of the run, or actually the first 10 laps, actually, I forgot we had a early caution. We decided to stay out. I think we're one of the six people that stayed out, and as the run progressed, it didn't seem like it was the right call because we lost so much time and we fell back all the way to I think outside the top 10. But we got that caution right around halfway, so uh, everything just kicked into full gear. Especially that the track got rubbered up, and I was finding grip where I thought I wasn't earlier, and I'm satisfied with the top five.
It was definitely a fairly difficult race, even with those two uh, cautions throughout the race. But what was it like when you were searching for grip in that second run, and how did you go about finding it?
Yeah, that second run we tried to save a little bit, especially on the right sides, right front mainly, with how much wear goes on with it, or with these tires in general, with how much wear. So we just try to take it easy. We technically accomplished that towards the beginning of the run, but mid run we struggled. I think I pushed a little way too hard, and I was just losing time. I lost time to Man Thomas, and I had James, Jaron, and everybody else coming in. So we found grip, especially middle three and four where people were struggling the most. I found a little extra outside the groove, and I was just sticking right there when I wasn't thinking it was going to. And we were catching Matt towards the end. It just ran out of time.
All right, Jonathan. Now let's look forward towards next week. We're going to be going to Alabama, and we're going to be tackling the Talladega Super Speedway. What's it feeling like for you as we go into the final Super Speedway of the season?
Well, actually, let me second the final because don't we have Atlanta still
I don't count
after
Atlanta as a super
Talladega?
speedway. Fuck Atlanta.
Uh, if we do reconfig, it's gonna be super sweet. I think I haven't ran it New Atlanta, but anyways, yeah, they. In my opinion, I think it's gonna be ramped up because it's getting closer to the beginning of the chase, and of course, the regular season isn't too far away. We still may about a little over a month out, but it's crunch time. It's a month out, but it's not that many races, so I think we're going to see some aggression there. I know I'm going to be aggressive. I'm not in it for the points, but it's always wanting that win, especially against this elite field. So it's just Talladega is going to be an up in the air question. Of will it be easy? Will it be aggressive? What will be the motive? Especially now that I think people are starting to get a little more amped up and starting to be a little bit more aggressive against each other. So I think it'll be a fun race. Looking forward to it for sure, and I'm ready for it. Hopefully, we're there at the end also.
All right, before we let you go here tonight, Jonathan, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to well, firstly, mainly tonight, my girlfriend. Tonight was our 2-year anniversary, so of course we celebrated right before the session went up and the race. So Uh, firstly, give a huge thanks to her uh, for everything, and then I gotta give a shout out to everyone over there at Triad Racing for everything they've done. Put in all the hard work. Our sponsors, StentAdzer.com, Susan Media, RPM Motorsports, uh, ALOC Projects, and I feel like I'm forgetting one more. No, that's everyone. Okay, that's making sure. Uh, and of course, everyone here at Output, including you, uh, you, Brian, Jaron, everybody at admin team, drivers council, putting on this amazing league, and of course, without uh, without forgetting my family and everybody that supports me, and we're gonna kick on the rest of the season, try to rack up more wins, more top fives, and see where we end up.
Also, a subtle shout out to his edible, which has only just kicked in.
Oh yeah, kicked in like if I talk about it, it's gonna be long, long interview. But it kicked in like after that restart halfway, and oh my god, I was just losing track of time.
All right, well, thank you very much for coming out, Jonathan. Congratulations on coming home fifth and getting the Hard Charger Award. We look forward to seeing you again next week at Talladega.
Thank you. See you next week.
All right, guys, so that was our fifth place getter here tonight and the Hard Charger Award winner, sponsored by Autism Awareness, the 88 of Jonathan Hernandez. Coming up next, we are going to have our third place getter. Normally see him on top of the table, but tonight only in third, of course, the 38 of Thomas Harmon. Thomas, uh, not exactly a great race up to your standard, but still a top three, so not bad at the end of the day.
Yeah, I hate the track. The arrow on the car is ridiculous these days. But I got mired back in traffic, and it was just so hard to pass once the tires wore down that you'd have to send it just to and pray that you were able to get by somebody. But fell too far back and ended up costing me in the end.
All right, now let's talk about the start of the race. We had one really early caution, followed by a bit of a green flag stint before the second caution came out just before green flag stops. What was that whole first half of the race like for you in your perspective?
I just kind of riding, learning the track, praying that it'd be over. I really hate Texas. I'm sorry. I just wanted out of there, so I was just riding around.
All right, well, then let's look forward towards next week. We won't talk about Texas anymore because no one likes it and it doesn't like no one. So next week we're going to be going to Talladega. Also putting a light for you as we head into Alabama.
That I can get with that. I'm looking forward to that, especially compared to this week. Talladega's fun. It's wide, allows to get 3, 4 wide, quite a bit. Um, it, depending on how I'm sitting those points, I have to look. But depending on how I'm in the points, I might mix it up a little bit this week or next week rather, and make it a little enjoyable.
Well, I can tell you, coming into tonight's race, you were leading by 46 points over Burgess. So you've extended that at
Oh,
least a little
yeah,
bit here tonight.
yeah. I guess I can get up front and play a little bit.
All right, Thomas, before we let you go here tonight, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, shout out to you up in the booth, Jaron, for providing the league for everybody to run in. Admins, drivers council, drivers that show up each week, fans that watch, Chambliss on the win tonight, and everyone in the car.
All right, thank you very much for coming out, Thomas. Congratulations on coming home in P3, and we look forward to seeing you again next week when we go to Talladega.
I'll be there. Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
All right, guys, that was Thomas Harmon, tonight's third place getter, and a little bit of a struggle for him here tonight, but he's still come home with a podium, which is incredible. Coming up next, we are going to have our second place getter, and tonight's second place getter is going to be the 23 of Mr. John Lazelle. John, second place and at Texas of all places. How do you feel?
I feel pretty good. I like that track, and I just wish I had the clean air, and then it would have been a different story probably. But it didn't work out that way. But it was fun. I really like this track, and once again, this league's good again.
All right, well, let's talk about the opening portion of this race. We had one really early caution, which then led itself into a long green flag run. How was it that you handled that first half of the race?
Well, I thought there was going to be another caution, like maybe 15 laps later. That's why I stayed out, and I should have went with my gut feeling like usual in this league. The first caution comes out, you should just pit, get your tires, and most likely there won't be another caution for a long time. So that was my mess up, but it was fine.
All right, so that means that that second caution that came out was a bit of a relief for you. What was the second half of the race like after that second caution?
It was pretty good. I thought I had a good run against Brian, and I just couldn't get around him. He was running that perfect line, and I was just couldn't do anything. And you get tight, and you just slowly lose a little bit here, a little bit here. And it just leveled out at like I was down maybe 0.8 at one time, and then I got it back down to 0.6, and that was it. But it was really fun, and Brian's a good racer. He's not going to mess up. That's the key is just to run your line over and over and over.
All right, now let's look forward towards next week, John. We're going to be going to the Talladega Super Speedway. What's the feeling like for you as we head into Talladega week?
Talladega's fun, especially in this league. I think it's fun, but it's always a challenge. You just got to keep moving forward somehow and not be in the big one.
All right, John, before we let you go here tonight, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Output Racing, your Twitch channel, Aussie Sim Communicator, and my daughter Scarlett.
Don't worry, folks at home. We will teach him
Uh,
the actual name of this Twitch channel whenever he says.
Commentator.
But thank you very much for coming out, John.
Yep,
It's always a
sorry.
pleasure to have you in the booth and see you out on track. Look forward to seeing what you can
All right,
do
have a
next
good one,
week.
man. Appreciate it. Bye.
All right, guys. That was our second place getter, the one, the only, the John Lazelle. Coming up next, we're going to have tonight's winner, and fairly dominating victory it was for the 21 of Mr. Brian Chambliss. Brian, a big victory in the books here at Texas, a track that no one really likes, but you just seem to click with really well.
Yeah, I'm kind of one of those ones that doesn't really care for it. I don't like 1 and 2. That thing needs bulldozed, but for some reason it suits me as far as I don't know. I guess I just figured it out. So, but yeah, we I thought we were gonna have a little bit of speed. I was a little concerned in practice because I wasn't putting up really good times, but then we went on to qualifying and I didn't know which lap was going to be the fastest. I figured the second one was going to be the fastest, and I was just kind of taking it easy on the first lap, and then the second lap came around, and I just murdered the wall out for it or overcorrected, and then I was still quick enough for 6, so I was like, well, I don't know, maybe we have something for him, and then just biding my time that first couple 9 laps before that caution there, and we were on our way forward, and I wasn't pushing at all. And then, it just kind of worked out for us there with that caution that some guys stayed out, and I chose to come in and pit and was the first one off pit road after that. So I was kind of in the catbird seat on fresh tires, and I had only 1% really all the way around that I was behind those guys, or 1% better because my tires were 99, and then came back out and we were rocket shit. We were gone. I wish that other caution hadn't come out because we were clear sailing, and I didn't think I was gonna have to worry about anything as long as I didn't screw up pit road. Caution came out, and it was still clear that still had the speed. Just trying to manage some tires and making sure that I still was able to, have enough so I didn't just die at the end of a run. But that first long run, I was battling loose in the long, and then the second one there, that sprint to the end, it was pretty tight. It was almost a 180 there, but luckily I had the clean air, and I think that's what really happened there. I think if coming off pit road, John was ahead, you'd be talking to John first and me second. So, but yeah, all in all, really good night. Good to get another win. I think it's been quite a while. And then beginning of the year, I finished in second to Thomas the whole time. So it's good to get another one, and we're still got some momentum. So, hopefully we'll stick around, be there, at least chase time, and then we can hammer down. And I think that obviously the regular season is out of reach, but hopefully, this win helps going into the playoffs, and we'll see what's happening. Still a long way to go, but we'll get there. That's for sure.
Well, speaking about momentum, next week we are going to the ultimate cathedral of momentum in the Talladega Super Speedway. What's it feeling like for you as we head into Talladega week?
Yeah, I mean, there you got to kind of have some friends. I haven't done too much super speedway racing with this car since the new build outside of Atlanta. So yeah, it's super speedway racing. Anything can happen. You never know. You could be leading the whole race, and then last turn there, you're backwards in the wall. You never know. You may not even have anything to do with it, and all of a sudden you're involved. So you just got to be there at the end, really, and that's all that matters is getting to the end of those things and letting the chips fall where they lie. It's a kind of a crapshoot with some of those things. You never know what can happen, especially late and running in a pack. It takes one guy making a mistake, and a lot of people out of it, and or we could go green all the way. You never know, but it's just really being around at the end.
All right, before we let you go here tonight, Brian, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, I want to thank everybody in this league for what they do, being safe and clean. I want to thank John for loaning me, or John Hernandez for loaning me a little bit of time to speak here at the end of this broadcast. I know he likes taking up a whole bunch of time, but I'm glad he gave me a couple minutes here to say thanks to everyone. But thanks for this league for what they do. Thanks for you for broadcasting, and thanks to my family for letting me do this on Tuesday nights. And then I'm off to dinner, and then we'll see you guys next week at Talladega.
All right, you go enjoy your dinner. Congratulations on coming home with a win. We look forward to seeing you again next week at Talladega.
Yeah, thanks, appreciate it.
All right, so that will end things here for us here tonight. Thank you all very much for coming out, and we will see you all next week when we head to Talladega. So until then, I've been your commentator, the Autism commentator. We'll see you guys next week.